Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're going to be looking at a watch from Frederique with the Vintage Rally. So in this video and on this channel, we cover watches for purchase on our website as an authorized dealer of all the brands that we carry. In this video, we'll do an overview of this Frederique timepiece. In addition to that though, if you have any just further questions about this watch, we'll have a link in the description to the product page where you can purchase the watch, also see more information and book a time with one of our watch specialists as well to get some more information before purchasing. But guys, let's jump into the video and take a closer look at this watch. A common industry crossover we see with watch brands is to team up with car companies, licensing the rights to produce limited edition pieces with racing-inspired timepieces. Now, Mercedes-AMG has teamed up with IWC in the past, Bugatti teamed up with Parmigiani, Breitling with Bentley, and Ferrari has teamed up with, well, seemingly everybody over the years. Now, Frederique though, has got in on the action as well, partnering up with Healey in 2004 for a series of limited edition models over the years. And today we're going to be looking at the Frederique just latest tribute to Healey, which is limited to 2,888 pieces. So not the smallest of limited editions ever, but still one, I guess, nevertheless. Now, the last time that Frederique released an Healey model was in 2018 with the sporty chronograph model, which turned out to be quite successful for both brands. But with this version here, Frederique does away with the chronograph and focuses more on a traditional three-hand model to pay tribute to one of Healey's most iconic rally cars, the 100 NOJ 393. Now, taking a look at this watch on the wrist, we have a diameter of 40 millimeters with that case that sits at just 10.5 millimeters thick and has an overall lug-to-lug dimension of 46.5 millimeters. This limited edition model used a case we've seen quite a bit from FC. The slim profile allows it to slide easily under a cuff shirt and has a compact vintage style lug design, providing a good balance and presence on the wrist from 15.3 centimeters all the way up to, I would say, 18 centimeters in wrist size. Now, the stainless steel case features a uniform high polish finishing everywhere, giving the watch more of a dressy look than a sporty look, as you're going to see mostly the sporty undertones when we look closer at the dial in a bit. Between the 20 millimeter lugs, you'll find a perforated thick brown leather rally strap, which has an old school vintage look to it. The strap is quite a bit stiff when you first put this one on the wrist. You're going to need to wear it quite a few times for it to break in. In the spirit of vintage rally racing, the strap looks like it would probably pair well with a set of leather driving gloves, but does look great with the dial and what this watch is going for. White stitching along the edges of the strap gives it some nice contrast. The strap features a steel pin buckle with an etched FC logo, a design detail we'll see across many of their pin buckles, and a standard push-pull crown to easily engage and operate at that 3 o'clock position. It features winding in that first position to power the watch, extending the second position to adjust that date, and at the farthest pulled out point you then can adjust the time while also stopping the second hand in the process, so hacking seconds here. To speak a little bit more about the wearability on this one, now the strap is going to not be probably best suited for small wrists just given the lack of holes within the strap itself. But also, this watch is certainly suitable for small wrists. I would say it wears closer to that of a 39 millimeter case and a 40 millimeter case, given that compact lug-to-lug distance. So this one's going to look great on a variety of different wrist sizes out there. And I think for those that have more traditional expectations for wearing dimensions, this is going to be right in their wheelhouse. Affixed to the high-polished dome bezel sits a subtly convex sapphire crystal that gives an unimpeded view of the dial. Now, the dial is where we're going to find much of the dedicated real estate for the Healey tie-in. The dial is British racing green, which has long been associated with Healey and made its way onto the dial of the 2018 limited edition model as well. The color is definitely on the darker side of greens, which gives the dial a good baseline for contrast and readability. Running along the edge of the dial, we have a stepped silver chapter ring with a matte finish to it. Black printing is used to fill out the minute track. Sliding back inside the chapter ring, we find a matching minute track along the edge of the green dial, as well as applied steel markers which contain superluminova. At the quarter hours of 6, 9, and 12, large bold applied Arabic numerals are found, and they are supplied with healthy amount of superluminova. At 3 o'clock, a beveled date window displays a white date wheel with black lettering. As you can scan the dial, you'll find the Healey logo scribed in white lettering between the hand stack and the 6 o'clock marker, and personally love the use of typography here in that Healey language. I think it works really well with this design. Just beneath the 12 o'clock marker, there is Frederique name with the Geneve underneath, also in matching white lettering. The hands are high polished with kind of this alpha style, which also contains superluminova to match what's going to be seen on the rest of the dial. The lume on this particular watch is decent despite the large areas, particularly on the applied numerals. The hands, though, are going to glow brighter and better than the dial elements in poor lighting. Now, there are some different variations of this Rally collection. We talked about the other limited editions in the past, My personal favorite though, just to interject some personal opinion, is going to be this green. I think just with this rally DNA, the outside minute track with a little slightly off-white color tone to it, and with the rally strap, it just comes together for a very cohesive form of design. Flipping the watch over to reveal the solid screw-down caseback, which is adorned with an image of the Austin Healey 100 NOJ 393, to which this watch pays tribute. Along the outer edge, you can see the limited edition number. While this is going to be a screw-down caseback, the watch is water resistant to just 50 meters, which is going to be okay for this type of watch. It is dedicated to a road-going car, so it's not going to be designed for use in water, but I could see some maybe wanting some 100 meters here. But beneath the caseback sits the automatic Sellita SW200 based on Frederique Constant's FC303 calibers. But in other words, this watch is essentially a Sellita-based caliber within. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing for this price range, and also for getting a lot of reliability, serviceability, and getting some proven time-tested ability in the marketplace. Now, Frederique Constant is owned by the Citizen Watch Group now, so most of their use of Swiss-based calibers from a third-party perspective are going to come from Sellita, but Frederique Constant has worked quite a bit in regards to developing many of their own in-house calibers as well, and may have even seen their new oscillating movement has really shaking up quite a bit of the watch industry. So in terms of serious watchmaking, FC typically doesn't get all the love that they maybe deserve, but this is one of their more traditional, straightforward designs that really do just lean more on the design than the movement, and just giving you kind of that peace of mind on the inside. So this movement's going to operate at 4 Hertz, 28,800 vibrations per hour, is going to feature hacking and hand winding, so hacking stop in the second hand when you pull out the crown to the farthest position. It also is going to come with a power reserve of 38 hours. And in terms of accuracy, just for some anecdotal evidence for this timepiece, this one is running at about plus 8 seconds a day. So just wanted to provide a reference there. So now to unpack this FC Rally Healey edition. Now this is a limited edition model, so that is something that's going for it in terms of how exclusive it is. In regards to the actual production here, it's not going to be the most exclusive of models out there. But I think this watch does navigate that tie-in to the Healey type of design language without being so directly on the nose. Now, I am not a car aficionado, so I'm not going to be able to speak to this maybe as much as somebody else will, who's an avid follower of the automotive industry and loves things all of that sort. I totally get the enthusiasm there, and there's the reason why so many brands delve into this world. It clearly does have a market. In regards to the design of this piece, I love these rally-style watches in terms of what this one is going for. That green dial is certainly my personal favorite. This one also is going to come with some additional tie-ins with the actual box, as well as an additional little model car set to match that of the Austin Healey that this watch is kind of resembling. Now, is that too much on the nose? I'll leave that up to the car aficionados rather than myself. I think most people that do follow this channel and just deal with me, they're here for the watches. But again, this is something that's a little bit outside of my realm of understanding when it comes to all those things automotive. Wearability on this one is quite good as well. I could see this working on wrist sizes from the smaller to the medium to slightly above average size wrists out there, so a lot of possibilities here. And I think for people that are looking in the direction of a timepiece of this nature, probably going to want something with vintage wearing dimensions. Movement is reliable on the inside. In terms of Frederique Constant as a brand itself, sometimes are a mixed bag. I think they've done a very good job in kind of reinventing themselves, or at least kind of looking into the next chapter. And I think a lot of that has come into effect as a result of the new ownership of the Citizen Watch Group. I think the brand is starting to streamline some things while leaning into their watchmaking chops. But this is probably one of the more entry-level models, a model that I think looks the part and is a nice tie-in, at least from my perspective, to an automotive icon. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Really would appreciate that. It does help out the channel. Also, if you're in the market for this watch, link in the description down below to the website. We're a full authorized dealer of all the brands we carry, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, full factory warranty for all the products as well. So if anything goes wrong, you're completely covered and don't have to pay the bill for it. And finally, 9 out of every $10 that we generate from this content goes right back into the content we're creating on our main channel as well as here. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.